Hi, today on the bench we have a max power that's a board. This one, it's an old one that had been corroded, and I fixed it in a lab. Here there's a fuse, a couple of resistors, couple of other things. The LED that's on the board is not working, but the board now it's working. One thing to note right away, it's when you connect it, it has a small power draw, 0.14 milliamp, 0.1 watts. It is a small power draw, but it still is a power draw. Now when you press both of them together, will beep, will light the LED. Now you have 0.62, 0.8 watt, that's the LED for certain, and the microcontroller 0.47 without the LED. So the microcontroller in standby, it still works. Now what this small box does, it's the interface between the buttons and the motor. If you go left or right, now you have the output. We have, this is the max power relay. Usually when you watch it on the motor, you have the black on the lower side and you have the brown and the blue. This is the 12-volt version. Now when you go, it will command the big power contactor. Now we have another one that is not so corroded. It's one of my friends that has a problem. Now turn off, 2 beeps, and it's off. Now what this board does, it has the on-off function if you have a commanded relay. This one has an LED that works, just beeped twice. When you connect the panel, you have the beep all the time. You turn it on, it turns on, but it doesn't do one beep. You turn it off, turns it off, doesn't do 2 beeps. For the rest, it is working. Let me just disconnect it. We have the black. It is a common problem that they do. Then you have the brown and the blue. Right now doesn't matter which way we put them. We reconnect it. It is on. It works. Now what this box does, it has a timer. When you go from port to starboard, it gives you, if you do it right away, will not engage right away. It has a timer, like a couple of seconds, to give the time for the motor to stop. Now this one has a continuous beep, so we're gonna discover which one of these components is bad, faulty, and who's the culprit for the continuous beep, and then I'm gonna fix it. Now another thing that I wanna do a video about, now this is a big contactor. You have the relay on the board. The relay, when it has the transistor that commands it, it also has a small diode, anti-parallel diode on the relay. Now What does that small diode do? It's cut the power spikes whenever you engage and disengage the contactor, the big power coil. Now this is a Vetus 24 volt one. Vetus installs a diode that could be it is like 1000 1N 4007 or something like this, and a small resistor, small value resistor in series, and they're connected, so they give you, this is the positive, this is the negative. That way you don't do like I did and burn the resistor. The positive is down on the Vetus and the negative it's up. On the max power you don't have it. You have A1, A2, and you can power it whichever way around you like. Now this thing that the coil does send a big spike. We can measure it with the oscilloscope. Now this is one thing that ruins electronics on board. It ruins the Raymarine displays, it ruins the communication part on the CAN buses and so on. Now a lot of boating big power relays do not have, this is for example a commanded little fuse. It has a big contactor inside, does not have the diode, the anti-parallel diode. I don't know, honestly, if the Tyco Kilovac, that's a really expensive one, the Tyco Kilovac, it's under vacuum. The difference, the main difference between a Tyco Kilovac and the other ones is that the Tyco consumes really small amount of power. It has like 300 amps. This one will be like around 300 also, 300, 400 and something like this. This one also. The difference is that the Tyco, it consumes really low amount of power. Now the Tyco, it's on, it's 121 milliamp. Now if you need a relay that is always connected, the Tyco, it's ideal. The max power one is like 3 amps. Let's just see on the other side. Yeah, this is 3 amps. The particularity of the little fuse is that it's only impulsive. You give one impulse and then you turn it off. So it's just, I'm saying, the little fuse one, it's a battery disconnect switch. It has the manual override, and this one is just, you just give them an impulse and it goes on, give him the other impulse and it goes off. It has the mechanical things inside, so this one just push a button and it will go on and off. If you need just a relay that's when like for the ABYC, when you need that stays always engaged and when the power goes away will disengage, the Tyco, it's the ideal one for the power consumption. In theory, I've used them on the bow thrust, replacing one of these big thingies because I did not have it available at the moment. They are pretty expensive, this stuff, so I've used 2 of these in order to, 3 of them in order to replace one of these. Now on all power relays, I repeat, in the boat, no, this one not, in the boats, this is an anchor one. It's from Quick. Whenever you engage and disengage, it gives a power spike. It's what an inductor does. That's why the inductors you find them on the various boards, like power converters and so on. That is the main inductor property, that it releases a big spike of energy when you cut the power. That's why it needs a diode as a protection to those spikes. A lot of boats and a lot of boat manufacturers do not add those diodes for the protection. And the worst part is that a lot of boat producers of electronics that go to the boat don't have the proper protections. Now I've went into a longer video. Maybe we could put the oscilloscope and measure the voltage spikes that are released. Anyway, that was a quick video, about relays and max power. If you're interested to see the repair and measuring the reverse voltage and stuff on this, just leave it down in the comments. Now I'm gonna try to fix this one to see which one of the output transistors are there. Now if you want to know how you can replace this 200 euro 150 euro expensive panel with homemade couple of buttons and 10 euro worth of rope of things, just leave it down in a comment, and maybe I'll make a video on how we can replace it with 10 euro worth of switches.